What is going on, guys? I'm Jaye the Black. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. I want to speak about being as red pill as possible in the workplace and not smashing your female co-workers, okay? Now, the catalyst of this conversation is Tavis Smiley. For those who don't know, Tavis Smiley lost a case where he's going to have to pay $1.5 million to the PBS network, a network he worked for violating the morals clause in his contract. And it's due to the fact that he had relations with various women in the workplace. And because of his position of power, the women are claiming that he took advantage of it. You see, it's difficult enough to be in an environment like that, especially as a man nowadays with the whole Me Too era that we are in. But it is very difficult as a black man to be in these positions because you're going to be accused of things and you can end up like Tavis Smiley. Us as black men, we can't be messing around with women in the workplace. I mean, men in general should not be messing with women in the workplace. I think I made a video about this a long time ago about not dating women in the workplace, because what's going to happen is that once that situation breaks down, she may have resentment towards you, and the first opportunity that she gets to flip on you, she's going to do that. Now, Tavis Smiley may not, in his mind, done anything wrong, but because he morally did something wrong in the company's eyes, he's going to have to pay the piper for that in the tune of $1.5 million. Now, he fought hard against this. He came out vehemently like, this is not what happened. This is what happened. It don't matter at the end of the day. It really doesn't matter, because it's going to be your word against those 6 women that spoke out against you, that claim that you took advantage of your position on that show, being a part of that network. Now, we know the truth is always going to be in the middle, but I don't believe that Tavis had to coerce or force any of them to do anything they didn't want to do. But you never know in these situations. Now, criminally, they may not have had anything against them, but civilly, PBS did, and this is a major L for Tavis, and this should have been over the last couple of years a way to show a lot of you, especially a lot of you melanated men, that you cannot be flirting and trying to date these women in the workplace, because it can always get flipped, to making you the bad guy. You could lose your job, your position, your prestige in the workplace because you got thirsty. And thirst is a way to lose it all. There have been men who've had side pieces who end up ruining their relationships and their careers because these dudes are having flings with women while they're with other women, and while they are at a job that does not like that type of BS. Now, when you are somebody in position of power, especially as a man, you got to understand that, that can be taken away at any moment because of the type of era that we are in. So when you are dealing with women that you may find attractive in the workplace, don't fall for it. Don't do it. Don't do it. You got to be smart, because what's going to happen is, again, they can always go to HR. They can always complain and say that you were being inappropriate with them, and they're going to take her side. They're not going to care that, you have your own show on the network. They're not going to care. What they're going to do is say, hey, we don't want a scandal. We don't want any Me Too bad publicity, so we're going to get rid of you. And that's what happened with Tavis, unfortunately. But again, you have to make business decisions when you're conducting business. When you're conducting business and you're in the workplace where you get paid, that, afford you a very good lifestyle, before you think about flirting, before you think about trying to date any women that you work with, you have to take that into consideration. You really do, especially when you are black, especially when you are melanated, because we're not going to get a lot of opportunities to mess up. There are women out here who, especially melanated women, who have dealt with non-melanated men in the workplace, and they never go to HR on those guys. They never tell on them. Nobody even knows. They keep that with them. They're not even bragging about it, And the thing is that they respect those men. And this is the harsh truth. They respect those men a lot more than they respect us. Because there are black women, especially in corporate America, who sees us as competition. And because they see us as competition, they're never going to have that respect level for us. That's why it's difficult for a lot of us to coexist in corporate America. Now, some of y'all are going to get upset at that statement, but it's true. It's true. This is why they pack HR with a lot of like females, But again, some of you are going to say that's not true. But what happened to Tavis Smiley is a classic example of you not understanding the optics of the corporate environment that you are in. The fact that you could lose your job at any moment, no matter if you bring in ratings to the network or not, if you're a big name or not, well known or not, they're not going to care. They're going to see you as somebody who can bring a lot of bad press to them. So it's going to be easy for them to clip you from the job. And the fact that these 6 women came out against you, it just shows the level of high level of thirst that may have been going on with Tavis in the workplace. And that's how you destroy a man, is through women. This has been done throughout history. You want to get to that man, get a woman. And I think that we have to learn from history. Even nowadays, you have to be very red pill in the workplace. You got to focus on the money, focus on being able to do your job. It doesn't, it doesn't matter that all the women are flirting with you. Don't give them any free attention. Don't flatter them. Don't flirt with them, because again, it can be used against you, especially if there are other women there that may be a little bit jealous. They may give that other woman a hard time, and then she ends up flipping on you just so she don't lose any favor in the workplace. That can happen as well. Peer pressure is a thing that a lot of people still deal with. Even adults still deal with peer pressure. You have to be able to focus on the job, focus on the task, not focus on hollering at these women, man. I've had to deal with it in my chat rooms. I got dudes who are more focused on, who are supposed to be more red pill. They're focusing on flirting with the females in the chat, who are just there to either listen to the topic or they're just there to get attention. And you're feeding that. You're basically doing what they want you to do. You don't understand it. Don't give out any free attention, because what's going to happen is they feed off that, and they're going to use it against you. They're going to want that non-relation attention, and you're giving it to them instead of you understanding the game and understanding female nature, which some guys just really don't understand, which is why they get caught up. This is why they end up losing their jobs, because they're continuously trying to mess around with the chicks in the workplace, which is the wrong place to try to mess around. Because us as men, again, we don't get a lot of chances these days. And we have to be very careful about how we deal with the women that we work with. Because I'm telling you right now, it could be used against you. Doesn't matter if you are in a position of power in that particular job. Again, you can still lose your position if you have women coming out against you, because once again, we are in an era that says men are bad, women are good, believe all women. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. The only way that a lot of women will truly take us seriously, especially us as black men, is if we take ourselves seriously. You know, we have to be able to take ourselves seriously. We have to be able to understand goals and not get sidetracked. Just because a chick look good on the job does not mean that we need to holler at her, because we're going to be falling right into a trap that we pretty much made for ourselves. Tavis Smiley is going to pay the price for dealing with women who work for him. Some of them probably envious of the power that he had. That's how it is, man. If you understand female nature, you understand this. You know, you understand this. Now, this morals clause that PBS has, I'm pretty sure a lot of these contracts, I mean, not a lot, but I'm pretty sure that there are a good amount of a good amount of networks that probably have those morals clauses. But again, if you are a famous guy, right, you can get women outside the workplace. You know, there are women who notice you. There's women you can talk to. You know, don't mess up your bag. You know, of course you're gonna have women who work with you who are gonna be attractive. Don't mean you gotta talk to them, because there's gonna be plenty of women outside the workplace that you can talk to, you can spend time with, if that's what you choose to do. But we have to focus on why we are there, and also be very cautious of the climate that we're in. Now, I understand that Tavis may have been doing this before the Me Too got pushed forward hard, you know. But common sense is common sense, you know. And I'm pretty sure these types of things have happened in these corporate environments for a very long time. As far as women being able to go to HR and say, this guy flirted with me, he said this to me. So you have to know, you know. Now, it really would be a shame if those women were not being truthful about their interactions with Tavis, and they're saying that stuff just because they don't like him anymore or they feel some type of way, which is why you should never try to date or sleep with the women in your workplace. Don't do it. It's a trap.